Hey everyone, this is Geeky Panda here on the Geeky Panda blog here at BeatDownBoogie's panel. I'm going to do some clips of some of the live stuff here, but very exciting.
While they sort that out, we'll introduce the cast and crew. Hey, push that blue thing on the right just slightly up. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Alright. Sweet. Well, this is Brian Lee. He plays...
What are you going to give me, a manicure?
Huh? This guy, the one that looks like a Lee.
Oh, look at
oh, sorry. You could have be a Scottish Lee. He plays Donkey Kong and Toad and Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong and Shy Guys and the Surgeon. Oh wait, that's another question. Have any of you seen the last episode of Mario Warfare? Okay. Has other people seen everything except for the last episode? Is there anyone that hasn't seen Mario Warfare? I just want to finish this mission. Excellent. Are most people pretty much caught up except for the last episode? Okay, cool. Then we might share the last episode while we're here. Once we need a remote control for that. And this is Matt Sumner, who plays Mario and Wario and Young Snake and oh, now you'll recognize him. Like, who is this guy?
idiots.
Yeah, any other characters you played? Donkey Kong as well. These two also doubled as Peach in episode 3 for the fight scene. And then this is Alina here that plays Peach. And she was also some of the Shy Guys or Shy Girls. And this is Chris Moore, who helped me write the series. And he also played a Shy Guy. Oh, hey, what's going on? Come on in. You're the star of the show now. Are you AD? No, go ahead. Where?
Oh yeah, we're just BSing right now.
Luigi! Now you will all witness the fury of Bowser's army. Guys, what's my line again?
What's that?
All right, you've seen this episode? Oh yeah, I'll just lay that background for a second. Okay. So, yeah, this is excellent. Okay. So before we made this, we can just do hand puppets instead, guys. Let's just do that. Before we made this, we tried to make a different version of Mario Warfare that didn't work out. Even though it had some really funny moments, it didn't really all come together in the end, because there's just a bunch of wacky ideas all thrown together. And after this episode plays, you'll see some of those episodes that are rough cut. In fact, we cut out a lot of the audio of the dialogue because we were really bad at acting, and it was very embarrassing. So we cut out some of the dialogue and just subtitled it. So a lot of it will play like a silent film. And there's gonna be a lot of funny stuff, but in the end, we were just like, where is this going? Like we had no idea. We were just kind of like thinking of stuff and putting it on the screen. So after this episode, you'll see the scrapped version of Mario Warfare. And then while we're at it, because we can't stop or pause this DVD player, we will...
It's only 12:30. It just hit 12:30.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll end up with something and we can move around. But we will play you something. We weren't even sure we were going to play you it, but now, since the DVD's playing, I guess we're going to play you it. We told our Kickstarter supporters that if they met a certain goal, we would make a film starring Matt in a Sailor Moon outfit. And it is really rough cut. The audio is kind of real crappy right now. It's not very good right now. We're going to refilm parts of it to make it slightly less embarrassing for us. And we're going to put it up, when we finally finish it and put it up on YouTube, it's going to be a choose your own ending thing. And there's going to be a happy ending, a romantic ending, and a scary ending. So we'll play all 3 endings for you so you'll understand what's going on. None of them are happy. And here we are. We're about to show you the deleted, scrapped version of Mario Warfare. Level. Oh yeah, that was nice. That was nice. That's good. thank you guys very much for watching that with us. Alright, why don't you guys try your microphones out, see if they're working.
Hello? I don't think that's
Nope.
Now we're playing with power. though.
Testing. Give it a shot.
Hello?
Hello.
Is this thing on?
Testing. See, I know I can.
Quiet, it's on?
Alright, who's got it?
I've got one. Hello. Testing. Oh, there we go. I'm
Okay,
getting
Brian's got one. Hello?
testing. Testing. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yes. See? I don't even.
You were correct the first time.
Grab a seat.
Wherever.
Here we go. Sorry, Brian.
I always get Micah.
Check one, check two.
I like how we moved up here. Does anybody actually?
Yeah. So did you notice between like that early rough version of Mario Warfare we did and this new version, our fight skills got a little better. And one of the problems we had with that early version you guys saw, we just did everything wrong. And as you saw, he had, well, Jared that plays Luigi, who is not a martial artist at all, he had the fight scene in that. And Brian, who teaches like 15 different martial arts, had to act in it. Now, he's gotten to be a pretty good actor, I think, but at the time, he had never done it before at all. He played Ghost in our other web series, Modern Warrior Solid. And we dubbed his voice for that series. So he's very good physically, but we had another friend do the British accent. So it was originally going to be me, but I was just going to be like, "Hello, Governor, chim chim chiroo," the whole time. And then it turned out our friend Andrew could actually kind of pull off a British accent, so we got him to do it instead. I try to do a bad accent in every role I play as Makarov or as King Rule. I can't do it.
Makarov, that's not about the arm.
Welly, welly, welly.
Welly, welly, welly. If it ain't the one that got away. Yeah, so I guess we can really just open it up to any questions. I mean, if you guys want to know stuff about us, about filmmaking, about YouTube, what we're wearing, I mean, like what type of underwear we're wearing. Oh, okay, right back there. Underwear questions.
Underwear. He's not wearing any underwear.
Yes. Batman. Or whatever.
What is the most expensive underwear that you own?
Oh,
It really is an
man.
underwear question.
Again,
That's probably going to be Alina.
In terms of price or in terms of like brand?
Right.
You realize we are going to answer this.
I mean, because it's like, to me, it's probably the difference of whether I got it at like Target as opposed to Walmart. So
It's definitely a
like whatever
Victoria's
from
Secret.
Target's more expensive.
No, Victoria's Secret would probably be, it would probably be maybe like $50.
Oh wait. No, well, I specifically had to buy in episode 1 of Mario Warfare those heart boxers.
Yes.
I specifically had to go out and buy like cartoony heart boxers for when Toad takes the Shy Guy's pants off.
Okay,
He actually wears those.
And I wear them all the time now.
I wasn't wearing underwear in the entire series. No, just kidding. Because you guys saw the first rough cut, right? No, the first
Oh,
one.
yeah.
The first one when they got out of the...
Yeah, so Peach did have, we'll get right back to you, but now that we're on underwear.
This is a great underwear cover.
Yeah.
I was wearing
Did
underwear
have,
on that.
so in episode 1, there were a few things from our early attempt at making that early version was going to be more almost like Grand Theft Auto. Just like everyone's a mess, everyone's just like, Mario's like an alcoholic, Peach is, basically like this Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton party girl. And so when we started episode 1, the series that you guys know and love, the series you guys know, we did have a couple of comments that weren't completely inaccurate, but people were like, I kind of think Peach looks like a tramp in this. And the thing is, that was our costume from that early version where she was Paris Hilton. We just, we didn't have any money or anything, so we're just like, well, let's just stick with this costume and this like makeup and everything. But then over time, we're like, oh yeah, we kind of forgot that she doesn't play that character anymore. So we kind of figured out some ways to give her some costume changes during it to give her some more empowering character. Did you ever a non-underwear question?
My real question was like, how did you guys get started? Like, where did the funding come from? Because this is like fantastic.
Sure. Specifically for the series, or just as a group, or?
Both, I guess.
Okay, sure, yeah. I mean, we started out, is anyone here into filmmaking, by the way? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, we started, as you guys probably know, are you guys like all kind of like indie, shoestring, low budget stuff?
YouTubers or...
Yeah. That's the same with us. And I mean, it's like an amazing era to live and do that with YouTube and with the internet, because we would just be weirdos if it weren't for YouTube. Now we're weirdos that are famous to 13-year-old boys across the world. But you know, we started out and like you just want to make movies, and then video cameras came out that were affordable to get high quality, but it's hard to find people that are reliable, that will keep showing up on time and doing stuff. And really, my advice is just find people that'll be reliable. You don't care if they're talented or not, because talent you can work on, you can improve. But if someone's just never going to show up on time, just drop them, because like it doesn't matter how talented they are, they can ruin your projects that way. But so yeah, we had this very small group, and I worked at a video store, and me and the other guys that worked in the video store and the owners of the video store would watch foreign films and action films all day. And it was a lot like the movie Clerks, except that instead of playing hockey on the roof, we would go and make movies. And because the owner was a guy that made, we would use the profits of the store to make movies. And there wasn't very much profits, but we would just close the store when we wanted to go film, and people would just come in like mad because they came by to buy porn mostly, because we sold other movies, but that's what made our money. So it's a good idea maybe if you're looking for budgets, try selling porn. And then just over time we grew. People would come in and talk about movies, and we'd be like, oh yeah, we're working on this movie, and they were all terrible. Like all those early movies we worked on were terrible, but they'd be like, oh, we want to make movies. And you meet people and they're not reliable or they're not cool, but eventually over like maybe every year you find a new person that's like actually worth joining your crew, and you just grow over time like that. And really a lot of the stuff we made just out of my pocket or out of kind of our collective pockets, because they'll pay for all their travel and gas and some of their costume stuff. And Modern Warrior Solid was mostly made on my dime, but we do have ad revenue on YouTube right now. And ad revenue doesn't account for a lot. If you guys have questions about trying to make money through YouTube and YouTube channels, like we can talk about that too. But yeah, I think we've kind of broken even, like with YouTube on like a lot of the projects we made, but specifically Mario Warfare, I was gonna try to pay for it out of money I'd saved up from my day job editing video at this office, because I had like a nice salary job at the time. I just got bored with it and quit one day, but it was sucking the life out of my soul. But until that, I was just doing this job because I was like, dude, I'm just taking this money you guys are paying me and putting this right into projects. But we made that version of Mario Warfare that didn't work, and you could see how many people were in that version, and like just feeding those people like a few days like depleted all my budget. And we did the first 2 episodes of the new version of Mario Warfare, and then we were like, I don't have any money left, so we did a Kickstarter, and luckily the Kickstarter was successful and we nearly made double our goal. Any other questions?
Hence the Sailor Moon.
Anyone wanted to talk about budget stuff? Any more questions?
Yeah, how do you properly make money for YouTube videos?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of way most people do it is, with ad revenue, but I'll say ad revenue is pretty low. Like the people who are successful with ad revenue are people like Jen Marbles, or people who have like very low overhead. It's mostly like them talking in front of like a little what do you call it?
Webcam?
Yeah, webcam. Yeah. I'm very bad at consumer electronics because I spend all my money on like kind of higher grade stuff. So yeah, if you're doing that stuff, if you're putting out a ton of videos, low overhead, high view count, you can make a lot of money on ad revenue. I mean, like PewDiePie is like that. They were just talking about him making like millions of dollars. And if you're a really popular gameplay channel. But unfortunately with us, we try to make web series that are like more traditional indie filmmaking, where we're trying to buy props and costumes and travel and rent out buildings and feed people now. We started trying to do that. Like it's and that's a really good thing to do. I found out it keeps your actors really happy.
Feed your actors.
Yeah, but what I would say is like what we're trying to do now is find like sponsors, because we go and film conventions and we also do web series like this. So we're trying to, on top of the ad revenue, find companies that'll sponsor us, and we do save money money by getting equipment sponsors and gear sponsors. Like all those airsoft guns were like basically free. We reached out to an airsoft company, and it's like probably $6,000 for the airsoft guns. And we're like, these are like the amounts of views we're getting on our channel. Would you want to sponsor our next web series and send us a bunch of guns? And same with like the foam rubber props, was like that. So yeah, you can try to save money by getting sponsors to give you stuff, and hopefully at some point you can find companies that'll sponsor you on top of the ad revenue. Then people try to find like, oh, maybe we can sell it on iTunes, maybe we can do this. And I think what most people have to do is find a whole bunch of different revenue streams and a whole bunch of different ways to make small amounts of money here and there. And also, I also sell lap dances from Matt and Brian, if anyone is interested later.
We have a table in the village room apparently.
Okay, go ahead, ladies first.
How do you get access to your locations?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for you filmmakers here, it's kind of a multi-approach that I use. Like one, try to work on your own kind of personal network of people you know, like friends, filmmakers, whatever. Like, because the more people you know, I just put it on blast. So like, I'm looking for these type of locations. If anyone has a contact, if anyone knows something, then I just if I go past a place that's like abandoned or has like a for lease sign, I'll just call the for lease people and be like, hey, would I be able to rent this out for a project? And the trick that I use this time to get all the warehouses in the last couple episodes. On Craigslist, there's a rental section for office and industrial. And depending on where you live, like if you live in a place that maybe has some old textile businesses and old factories and stuff, you can find people trying to rent out warehouse spaces, stuff like that. And these people were kind of out, about an hour away from us. They were out in the sticks, and those, all his warehouses are kind of run down. So he was like, I'm just trying to rent these for like $400 a month. And I was like, well, we'll give you $50 a day, which, you add that up and it's like way more than $400 a month, because we just come out every weekend, and he loved us. And he was like, I actually have some, he's like, I have some warehouses that I even can't rent out because they're too dilapidated. And I was like, that's the only ones we want to shoot in. Yeah. So it worked out really well. Chris is also a filmmaker. I don't know if you have ideas.
Well, can I
about
say something about the
locations?
warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
This is just a little trivia. There was no bathroom, so all my ladies, you'll understand how hard it is to be a woman with no bathroom. For the guys, it's a little easier. But yeah.
Why is that? Are boys and girls different?
That's a different panel.
Why did nobody tell me this?
But another thing on locations as well, if like us, we're actually to the point where we can rent spaces. But Modern Warrior Solid, everybody has seen that, yes, yes, does not.
Pretty much everyone.
That's Matt's work.
Yeah, Matt works there, so if you see a cool location you really want to use, get one of your crew to start working there, and then get permission to film there.
So pretty much most of Modern Warrior Solid was shot there.
The Mushroom Kingdom Castle.
Yes, the castle for the kingdom.
So basically, if you watch enough of it, you could probably map out Matt's office at this point.
We use a lot of the same locations for stuff. I mean, definitely if you're a if you're a filmmaker that's starting out, you'll want to think about what you have access to almost before you start thinking about what your story is going to be. You kind of want to base it around what you have access to. That way you can make it high quality. You won't be stretching your resources too thin. And the main thing is, like, if you make some stuff that's like high quality, even if you have to like pull your scope in a little bit, if you make something that's high quality, that's something you can show people that own these locations, and they'll be like, okay, these people are serious. Because the one thing, you can go to people and talk about locations, and if they, of course they want you to be passionate about it, but you just have to seem professional. Seem like you know what you're doing, like, too. Don't be like, I kind of like have an idea, and it's like, I need a location like this, and don't just be like, hey, I make films, I love your location, we have a very professional, very polite crew, we would love to film something here. We don't have much of a budget, but is that something that would be okay? Like, or if we pulled a budget together, what would you need for that? And stuff like that. Occasionally you'll run into people where we live, because we're in North Carolina. Like, this doesn't work in LA or places like that, but you'll run into people like, you're making a movie?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You want to use my restaurant? awesome. Like, and so it's great. Like, you know, use people's, like, you know, kind of enchantment with the whole filmmaking thing. But they just don't, you know, they don't want, like, you know, if you're making crappy movies or if you're just like, you know, you don't clean up after yourself, of course, that's always a problem. But it's like every opportunity to, you know, network with someone like that is like a time where you can raise your quality and you know, get someone out there that's like, oh, you can call this guy that we used his location and he'll talk us up, he'll say it's okay, you know. So like every opportunity is an opportunity to like get a bigger, better space than the next time.
Yeah, sometimes you can people like they want to be an extra in it just to be in it. I mean, like I just shot a film. I just shot a film recently where we shot in a neighborhood, and one of the guys who lives in the neighborhood I was good friends with, and we put his daughter in the film. And so then everybody in the neighborhood wanted to be part of it and stuff, and so we were able to shoot in this sort of Spielberg-type neighborhood, you know, and it gave us really good production value. So a lot of times you have people that, you know, they want to be in the background or like, hey, that's me, so they can point it out when they watch the film. So yeah, there's a lot of people that want to be in movies.
Yeah, and then before we got to the place we are, I mean, we were guerrilla filmmakers. I mean, that's still how I consider us, guerrilla filmmakers. So, you know, there's always the, yeah, let's just sneak in, and if anyone catches us, make sure they see the cameras before they see all the fake guns, and be like, oh, I thought this, I'm sorry, I thought we could film here, I'm sorry, we'll leave. And you just had to be willing to leave if they catch you. Oh, but we did, for the fight scenes for Donkey Kong, and that's like the one thing, if I could change anything in Mario Warfare, is just the Donkey Kong versus Peach fight went way too long. It went about a minute too long. It's just Donkey Kong just beating the crap out of Peach. But you know what happened was we had never done fight moves like that were like wrestling, like pro wrestling type moves, and we didn't realize, because normally we'll be like, let's think of like, I don't know, let's think of like 20 moves we can do in this fight scene. But they're usually like quick exchanges, you know, ba 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 ba. And I was trying to be Jackie Chan, you know, ba 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 ba, and then we're like ba 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 ba. But these are like, they really require setup. I mean, you pick them up on your shoulder, spin them around, drop them, that's one move. So we thought of 20 moves, and then when we put them all together, it's like, this is long as hell. Yeah. So, and it took a long time to film because
2 weekends.
Peach had 3 different stunt doubles. Because Brian is kind of good at like kind of lightweight acrobatic stuff. So when Donkey Kong like picks up Peach and like throws Peach, and then Steven, our main stunt guy, is good at flipping around and doing flips. And then Matt's very strong. So if we needed anyone to pick someone up, that was Matt. If we needed anyone to get on someone's shoulders, that was Brian. And if we needed anyone to do insane flips, that was Steven, and we had to keep changing costumes. So these guys had to get in each other's sweaty-ass gorilla suit, because we only had one. So it took a while to film this fight. So we went there the first day, and it went really good, but I was like, we're going to have to do this, we're going to have to come back at least 2 more days to
and
finish,
it was March, too.
to finish this fight scene.
Yeah, it was March.
So we're leaving the park, the state park, ranger stops us. So what are you guys doing here? It's like, oh, we're just filming this little thing. It's like, you're not allowed to film in state parks yet without a permit. Yeah. And I tried to go get a permit, but they weren't hearing it. So we snuck into the park the other 2 times. And we had to be smooth about it too, because I got a minivan, and it has like automatic opening doors. So it was literally like, you know, like a Black Hawk helicopter. We drive one way to look for rangers, and as we drove the other way, like, oh, there's like basically like a real steep hill that went down to where we shot next to the road. So we drive by, and my van doors, and then everyone just jumps out with duffel bags of camera equipment and runs down the hill, and then I like go and park a mile away and like run in. So yeah. Any other questions? Go ahead.
How difficult was it going from the Modern Warrior Solid films? How different was it? This is specifically for the actors and for the stunt, because you're playing different characters, of course. So how different was it going from that to Mario, basically?
Well, you saw the voice we had, right, for Mario, that in the bad cut.
Yeah, we tried many different voices for Mario.
We just thought that would be too annoying, and it is.
So I mean, when you say difficult,
going from like one role to another role,
like to change, because you basically got to play an entirely different character. You basically, you did play Snake. That was a great cameo, by the way. Snake.
Yeah.
I love Snake.
That was kind of a homage for the people that watched our previous web series.
Our fans.
But yeah, you're playing different characters. So how different was it? And especially given the fact that you guys are doing stunts as well as acting. So how difficult was it to be able to have to do stunts and act at the same time on camera being shot, basically? How difficult was that?
Not really hard. The gear is uncomfortable, and like getting your leg up with a leg holster is insanely hard. So
I will say for me, I'm not a stunt person. I'm a dancer. I'm a trained dancer. So I have some choreography and some flow that way. But these guys really trained me when we were on location. They were basically telling me, all right, do this.
She did a great job.
Wario.
That was her first like major fight scene with Wario. So.
And she's actually the only real actor we have. No, I mean honestly,
Jared,
her and Jared are the two actors.
Because we were all just doing stunts and fight choreography, and then we were like, all right, we want to do a story. We were like, we have to act. It's gonna be so bad.
But
oh, that was very cool.
Okay, that was nice. But with Ghost, I mean, it wasn't very hard.
Am I gonna have to confiscate that?
Yes.
Oh, don't play that.
No. I told him that we were at the panel.
Oh, that's Jared.
So
That's Luigi on the phone.
But go ahead.
Is he on the phone now?
It's on Boxer, so he sent me a message. So,
But Ghost wasn't very. I mean, the thing with Ghost was a lot of pantomime and acting. I mean, you don't understand. Underneath the mask, I'm acting and doing everything because that's the only way that I could get the body movements. But I had no line. Well, I said the lines anyway, or I said something really stupid. But I still did it, and most of it was really just moving around. For Toad, it was. That's pretty much it. And to be honest, that's one of the issues that we've always had.
Like, work on the acting with Toad.
Episode 1, yeah.
But the one thing with that we always had a problem with is because Matt, myself, and Micah are like traditional martial artists. I mean, when you as a martial artist, your expression is supposed to be even if you get punched. You guys, it doesn't matter how much you're hurting. So
when we started doing out fight scenes, we would not let our face change, because we would, we're just trained to like you don't know, unless you want to mess with someone's mind, you don't want them to know they had any effect on you. So our fight scenes just looked terrible because it looked like no one was getting hurt.
Even though we actually are hitting each other, it's like bang, bang. That looked horrible on camera. Why? You hit him. All right. And then when we started just being fake with it, it skyrockets. And as a oh yeah, it's on. Hello. There we go. But I mean, he can hear me. He's right
but
there.
I was gonna say, toward your question, one thing we ran into was Brian and Rick, who plays Bowser, and Rick's an electrical engineer. He designs microchips, so he's like a real nerdy dude. These two are probably like the coolest just customers like you run into. Like they never get upset. You know, they keep it all on the inside. You know, they don't show it on the outside. So we're like trying to get them as a director, like kind of you had to learn how to emote your inside emotions on the outside as Toad. But as Ghost, you know, it's just all pantomime and physical acting. And at one point he was like, you know, anyone. It's like if you watch it, you realize like no, you have to like really get the body language. Like because I had to be like, I need you to be sad, and I can't see your face. And he can do it. He knows like how to move. So that was really good. But he said in the next web series, I don't want my face all covered up. I want people to recognize me. And I said, I'll make you the coolest character in Mario Warfare.
I'm gonna kill you.
There's one catch. There's one catch. You die in the first episode.
Oh, at one point I was a wedding planner. Toad was a wedding planner. That was an option.
Yeah, that was some of our options. We were gonna have like Mario and Peach getting married at one point, and Toad was gonna be like the best friend wedding planner. And then we decided Link would be the best friend wedding planner, and that was gonna be me. But that story just went nowhere. And I'd say, you know, Matt's really good at impressions, but accents is something he's learning. And obviously, I had to learn a bad accent every time. So there's lots of videos on YouTube you can look for.
Well, from an acting perspective, I know you were saying from one project to another as an actor, how do you change characters like from Modern Warfare Solid or whatever? Well, for this project, I was going to say we were working on it for 2 years. So once you're in character, you know, you kind of have it. So it's not like we were one character one day and another character another day. But if you are from an actor, you just kind of put yourself in there and just like it's like you got to show up and just be that character. You're yourself until the camera rolls, and then you know you have to just mentally, physically think about the choices that character would do. So.
And then there's me trying to get Matt to grab his junk.
Yeah.
There was Matt. The thing about Matt, he's like a really nice guy, and so it's like you need to be like this like like New Jersey kind of like whatever dude, and he's like he's like not used to being like. I don't mean like a...
Like Sopranos.
Yeah, he's just supposed to be this like, And I was like, just like grab the junk, man. Just be like, yo, just like... And I was like, to get into character, and he's like, I can't do that.
I didn't say that.
And we're like in front of like a whole bunch of people. And then finally, everyone's of age in here, I guess, It's like, cause I'll get frustrated, because I'm not a great director, so I'll get like frustrated, and I'm like, just do it, man. Just grab your junk and get in this character that's like macho, dude. This is during his fight scene with Link. I was like, I need to be this macho dude. He's like, fine, I'm fucking grabbing my crotch. I'm fucking grabbing. It's like him and I were having this like loud argument in front of all our actors about him grabbing his junk.
Smash Club.
And next question.
Sorry.
Terrible.
Was that too much information?
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas for the future of like what next new series you want to do?
Yeah, we can't like talk about any specific details because we want to like keep them surprises. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on.
She's trying to be slick.
You guys are too young to know that song. But we want to do a lot of one-off videos. Like, I don't know if you've seen Modern Warfare 3 starring Ghost.
Yes.
But it's like one of our favorite videos. So we want to do a lot of like maybe 5-minute videos that's like, it's like a self-contained video. And honestly, like we are trying to figure out like, we always want to do stuff we love and care about. Like, because what's the point if you're not doing that?
Yeah,
like,
you gotta have fun.
We can make a lot more money at an office than we can doing this. So, but at the same time, we want to start figuring out like how do we make this stuff work for us. So like Ubisoft is a company that really embraces fan videos, and they even put some budgets out there, like never toward us, of course. But we have like several ideas. 2 of those 5, maybe let's say we have 5 ideas. 2 of those are Ubisoft properties. So we're like, let's do those ones because those people are into fan videos. So, we're trying to think kind of like a little more strategically. Because our first one, Modern Warfare Solid, it was the whole joke was making fun of the CEO of Activision, like Bobby Kotick. So it's like, and once we started trying to be like, figure out like, how do we make money with this? It's like, we should probably stop making fun of the CEOs of all these video game companies personally. Oh, sorry.
Now, with the stuff you've got for Mario Warfare, are you going to recut it for the future release?
Yeah, it's gonna be like, we're gonna try to improve some of the audio mixes here and there.
And you're not gonna have the episodic bumps. So
No, we're gonna cut out those. And you can kind of see like, this is like the stuff we showed today, like those last few episodes together is sort of like, because it didn't stop, when Toad showed up, and it didn't stop when Luigi was crying, which is where the episode cuts are. So those were pretty smooth things. I had to fix a few.
Are you going to keep any of the BTS footage on the future release?
Yeah, we're going to try to include a lot of extras on there. And hopefully, and we have a behind the scenes guy that's great, but he has like a big family and a day job, so he's hopefully going to get more and more footage. Because the behind the scenes for like the Donkey Kong fight and all this other stuff is really entertaining.
Oh yeah, we've got it posted up. If you've seen
No,
it
not for that one. We have behind the scenes for episodes 1 and 2
Right,
posted.
and you also got the highlight reels for the couple fight scenes.
Yeah, and we're going to try to do that. And to be honest, like that serves a twofold purpose. One is like, let's get a few more views and a bit more ad revenue when we post the fights individually. But also YouTube is made for like those small little clips, and not 16-minute episodes like we sometimes do. So we wanted to have bite-sized stuff people could share.
We got any other questions?
Any other
We got
questions?
like 7 minutes. We got over here.
What made you decide to make Mario Warfare a prequel?
That's a good question. To me, that's kind of how it always was in my mind, because it answers a really important question, which is when you get to the castle in Mario Brothers games and Toad's always there waiting. Now you know why, because Toad already fought his way through like 30 minutes ago, and it's just like, yeah, dude. But I would say like it's been interesting watching the reaction to the ending, because I'd say about 10% of people aren't really into the ending, and I can understand that. And for a lot of people, it means like the series over. It can't be continued because it's already been continued in the games. But I just like the idea of when we did Modern Warfare Solid. I like the idea of people watching that and then playing Metal Gear Solid 4 and they can't shake his snake out of their, that sounded dirty. they can't shake his snake out of their head, or playing you know, Modern Warfare 2. And so I hope when people play the Mario games, like that will kind of stick in their head, you know, our version of it. And I just think it adds a little flavor to the games that way. Any other questions?
6 minutes.
Oh, let's get Mario in the back.
Mario.
My brother's on board the USS New York, and he wants to say hi to you guys.
Oh, awesome. Well, tell him we said hi. And when we get some DVDs, if you send us an email, you know, we'll try to get one for a ship. Or submarine, what is it?
It's a marine carrier.
Oh, awesome. Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got that one.
Cool. Well, tell him we said hi and thanks.
It's just a random question. How did you make your star necklace look like you got shot?
Oh, well, was that
we
Andrew?
made that like minutes before
Really?
we shot it with our cameras. Luckily, the guy that made the mech legs, our friend Andrew, is an industrial artist, and he also fixes up motorcycles, and he's a DJ, and really dreamy guys, is what I'm trying to say. Really dreamy dude. Very skilled.
Also the voice of Ghost.
And the thing is, he doesn't have a computer. So he had never watched Mario Warfare. I was like, can you build us these big mech legs? And he built us these ones that like looked like carbon fiber, and they were like silver and black. And I was like, oh, I gotta paint them bright blue and green. And he was like, you motherfucker. But then he came out to the set because he's like, you're gonna screw up my legs. So he came out to the set that day to see how badly I had painted his legs. And then I was like, while you're here, we're supposed to have a bullet stuck to this necklace. And I was chewing gum. I was like, I'm chewing this gum just so I can stick it to it, and then I'm going to paint it silver. And he was just like, I've got my glue gun. So what all it is a glue gun, and then he took kind of a stick to kind of hollow it out in the middle, and then he painted it silver.
That's it. Got 5 minutes.
It's a better story if it's your gum, I think.
Yeah. It's like,
this is Micah's gum.
It's like, here, I'll make one for you right now.
DNA.
Go ahead.
How do you guys like cast people? Like, do you hold auditions?
It's like one of those things. It's like you kind of build up your regular crew that you really like to work with. I mean, because all this is like, if we weren't having fun doing this, like, you know, there's really not a paycheck involved. There's none of those pesky paychecks to worry about. That's what I tell everyone. And so you kind of cast like the people who are willing, and then the people who are just like your homies, because it's like that's what's fun, you know.
Show up.
And and then like eventually you need other roles. It's like we need people that are outside of our age range. Or for anyone that saw Modern Warfare Solid, we needed this like kid to play young Snake, and we just like put out something on Craigslist like we're looking for a little boy to be in a movie, and the mother just dropped him off at my place and left and was like, call me when you're done. That kid was awesome. So yeah, so then like you reach out to people, and yeah, I mean, you know, you can cast through, you know, we kind of do it through like very informal ways, but there are ways to cast. There's probably like wherever you live, if it's a fairly decent sized place, or city, like there's probably forums out there, and there's also talent agencies. They work for a talent agency that like, you know, normally is looking for paid work for the people they work with, but if you're making some of the best looking or most successful projects in the area, you know, not saying they are, but then they might have some younger actors that's like need the experience or need the reels and stuff like that. So you can even contact talent agencies and be like, you got anyone that needs some practice or needs some reels?
Yeah, and a lot of talent agents have like email there with clients. So like my agent has like 700 or 800 people that they represent. So they have an email blast. So a lot of people will contact them and say like, hey, we have this project, it doesn't pay or whatever, it's experience. And they'll just email blast. I mean, they don't get anything out of it per se, like money-wise, but it's good, like he said, for the actors to get experience. And they'll just email blast it and put like, you know, BeatDownBoogie email or whose ever email to contact.
Yeah, and then some people are like, look, I'm not gonna do my crate or my trash without pay, and which is totally respectable. And you had to be like, hey, I understand. Like, I would love to be in that situation as well. But yeah,
I think we have 1 minute as Geeky's stalking.
Anyone got a question for a minute left? And if anyone wants to like hang out with us, we're gonna be here the rest of the con. So seriously,
say hi.
We're just hanging out, so you guys are welcome to buy us drinks or buy us. I guess you could buy us drinks.
So what do you guys like?
Like what else can you do? Buy us
I want to play with Jared.
But no, seriously, like, you're welcome to hang out or whatever.
All right, we got 1 minute.
We're just chilling. Anyone, one last question?
Well, it better be short.
Choreography scene in episode 1, where you did the homage to Equilibrium and Leon.
Nice.
How many takes did that actually need?
Okay, so on that, that's actually a very simple drill, martial arts drill that Bill and I both studied the same martial art. So we actually tried to plan something out, and it just kept flopping. And then Micah just said, yeah, just do that drill. And we just kept doing that, and he would just move to different sections.
Well, Equilibrium actually has a lot of cuts when they're doing like, we'll wrap this up here, but like, you know, when they're doing like trapping hand drills, and it's switch to the outside. Sorry, it's hard when we're
Anyway,
we're getting they actually have a lot of cuts.
Right.
But we can like just do these like drills like indefinitely. Not me because I'm out of shape, but him and Anthony go, and I was like, man, they're going as fast as like kind of the Equilibrium stuff, but there's no cuts. Like we could, you know, just actually film around them. So
basically ours was better.
No, Equilibrium is very stylish.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wanted to play that message from Jared to you guys.
Oh, one last message from Luigi.
From Luigi.
Hey guys, Jared, thank you so much for supporting our series. We are just so grateful, and you guys rock. And if anyone has seen my meatballs, please let me know. Thanks, guys.
All right. Say hey to her. And drop the mic. Say hey to Luigi.
Thank you guys for coming out so much.